Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for episode 3 of season 4 of Arrow Restoration, or Restoration. So yeah, before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual. For those who have yet to actually watch this episode and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Oh, okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch this episode and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. That never gave you fair warnings. As usual, I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rates. So yeah, probably the best episode we've had so far in season 4. I can say that. Um, so basically, you have Damien Darhk, and he's talking to this lady called Fayad. He's working with this lady, and between them, they hire this guy called Double Decker, something like that, or Double Down. He's a metahuman. Let's just go with that. And probably one of the cooler metahumans we've seen so far between the Arrow and Flash TV series. Basically, he has tattoos all over his body, and some of these tattoos look like playing cards. What he can do is he could take them off and basically use them as throwing knives or projectiles or whatever, and he could kill people with them. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. That's probably one of the better reasons as to why this episode was great or better than some of the previous ones or last two of the season. Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. Like holy shit. So yeah, it's explained that he was getting his tattoos while the particle accelerator exploded, and that's how he kind of got the ability to get playing cards out of his ass. Probably literally, I'm not even joking. I mean, he's getting cards out of his back and boom boom out of his hands. So yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, he has a few fights against Oliver and Diggle. This lady that he was working for, because it was Damien Darhk and this Fayad lady. The Fayad lady is killed off by Damien Darhk, and that's kind of seen as a threat because Damien Darhk is kind of, again, as I said before in my previous review, the season part of the season focuses a bit more on mysticism. The previous one focused on metahumans and superpowers. This one's focusing a bit more on mysticism. Okay, and so yeah, so I mean, you have Damien Darhk. He's kind of a mystic. He was a predecessor to Ra's al Ghul before the previous Ra's al Ghul kind of kicked him out and didn't have the balls to kill him. And the one right before Malcolm Merlin. Okay, so yeah, the Ra's al Ghul from the previous season didn't really kill Damien Darhk, so now he's kind of a mystic, but he still has powers of the Lazarus Pit or something. Yeah, something that still keeps him young, which is interesting. Um, so yeah, so basically Damien Darhk tells Double Down or whatever his name is, this metahuman to like try to kill him. So he's like, okay. He throws a card at him. Catches him midair, but like power wise, it's like he's using the force, and then he uses it to kill the lady Fayad. And he says, "This is a threat. Either ditch town or do what I want." He tries to ditch town. Arrow catches him, and they send him to the metahuman prison all the way in Flash. So that's interesting. Also, you have then you have in the Lazarus Pit. They decide to bring Black Canary back. The OG Black. I forget what's her name again. The one Laurel's sister. I forget her name. But you have the other Black Canary. They resurrect her, and the way they can explain it is that the reason she's too far gone, so to speak, is because she's been dead for about a year. So, and yeah, the Lazarus Pit affects people for the length of time they've been dead or stuff like that. It's a little bit complicated, to be honest, for my taste. But it kind of relates as to how Oliver's sister um, is now behaving. What's the sister's name again? Brain fart. Thea. Because now we see Thea being a bit more bloodlustful, if that makes sense. She wants to kill, okay? And she does kill two guards, I guess. Two of Malcolm Merlin's guards, because Malcolm Merlin said die, basically. So yeah, she's into bloodlust right now. It's not really that she's into it, but she kind of needs it to feed off the souls that are affecting her due to the Lazarus Pit because of the last season. So that's interesting. So yeah, now it seems like you need more blood like you need blood. It's like blood's a drug, I guess, in a sense. It's like blood is their drug. if you dip even a little bit into the Lazarus pit, you have to take blood from someone apparently. So that's interesting. A little bit complicated to be honest, but it's interesting. I will say that much. And yeah, and there's this one part. There's this one part where Malcolm Merlin tells Thea that there's a mage up in the hills or whatever that he could probably help you. I was thinking, they're talking about Constantine because I know he's gonna come on later in the season. Because I know Constantine. I think he came up in episode 5. So I'm like, they're talking about Constantine, and then Malcolm Merlin kind of just pulls that off like a JK, just kidding, LOL. Like I'm like, shit. But that still would have been really cool if he was actually talking about Constantine, which leads me to believe, or wants me, I want to know, does he know about Constantine or not? Because I know they kind of added Constantine at the last minute into one of these episodes. Because not really last minute, but the Constantine show got canceled. Fans were outraged because it was actually a pretty good show. It's just that wrong network. It was on NBC. It's just not the proper network to be on. So I actually really like the Constantine show, to be honest. So yeah, but I think the major problem is it was just on the wrong network. It should be like, if they don't want to do it on CW, because the CW is pretty packed with DC shows when you think about it. Because you have The Flash, you have Arrow, you have iZombie, and then you're gonna have Legends of Tomorrow by the beginning of the year. So they are gonna be pretty packed when you think about it. Yeah, believe it or not, iZombie. I mean, iZombie's not in the Flash Arrow universe yet. There's some debate on that if it's ever gonna be. There's debate on that, which is interesting. And then you have that Flash and Arrow universe. That's gonna be interesting because it's not connected to the DC universe. And so that's the first thing. They have Constantine, so they have added him. They're thinking about just pictures of Flash and Supergirl already, and it's not Photoshop. It's been confirmed that those are legitimate pictures. So that's gonna be interesting. I've seen people argue if it's Photoshop or not. It doesn't really look Photoshop to me. And I know how Photoshop works, by the way, because I've taken a few classes. It doesn't look Photoshop to me, so that's interesting. And then you have iZombie kind of throwing in the mix. If there's one DC show, however, if there's one current DC show that sure as hell ain't gonna make it into this universe, it's gonna be Gotham, because first off, Gotham takes place like in the 60s, or the 60s to 80s. Let's go with 80s, like mid 80s, early 90s, okay? So fuck it, okay? Gotham could, in this sense, could go fuck itself. But all the other shows, iZombie, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Constantine, they have a pretty, Legends of Tomorrow, that is confirmed to be part of the Flaro universe, okay? So that's that. Constantine confirmed. Now you have iZombie and Supergirl, that's the question. So yeah, off topic, but whatever, interesting. So yeah, tease for Constantine, yes, not really JK, whatever, that's pretty cool. So yeah, overall, it's probably the funnest episode we've had in season 4. Then again, I've only watched the first 3 episodes of season 4 thus far, so, and we're about to be on episode 8. We're on episode 7 right now. That was released on November 18th. So yeah, I'm like halfway through the season, the first part of the season thus far, kind of, not really, whatever. Overall, really, really good episode. I feel like the action was a little bit better in this episode than the previous 2 episodes. We have also some stuff with Diggle. He's still trying to find his, who killed his brother, which kind of leads into the Fayyad person, the Damien Darhk, which I think, like not Damien Darhk specifically, but I feel like the Hive has something to do with Diggle's, with the death of Diggle's brother. And that's more or less why he can't forgive, or he didn't want to forgive Oliver in the previous 2 episodes, because he doesn't want to trust someone to then be betrayed again, stuff like that. But at the end of the episode, he does come to trust Oliver again, and then you get the OG Team Arrow again, which is pretty funny. And then Felicity, she has some pretty good. Yeah, Felicity was with this OG Team Arrow crap throughout most of the episode. I'm like, that's cute, okay? But she has some pretty good lines. Like, there's this one part where she's like saying, I thought you guys could, she's talking to Oliver and Diggle, and she's like going on. I'm like damn, she's pissed, and it looks pretty cool. Felicity, she ain't crying anymore. That's actually pretty good, because she needs to be kind of a stronger lead female character, which Felicity, sometimes I like her, sometimes I hate her. Sometimes I like her, sometimes I hate her. Hopefully this season's the one where I'm finally gonna be a fan of her, because I'm like, she's okay, she's there, whatever for me. Like, she has some pretty good scenes every here and there, but for the most part, I don't give a shit. Hopefully this is the season where I actually like her. That'd be great, to be honest. And I think this may be because, yeah, in the previous review, in the review for episode 2, I said there was this guy, one of our coworkers was Mr. Fantastic. I got that completely wrong. It's Mr. Terrific. Yeah, it's Mr. Terrific, and the T-balls and all that. So that's interesting. Mr. Terrific is what I meant to say. So yeah, he knows a bit about Green Arrow. I feel like eventually he'll know who Green Arrow is. The Oliver's Green Arrow. He'll be core member, or at least a member of the Team Arrow. So that'd be interesting because he already knows a bit more about Team Arrow than he should. Thanks to the double deck guy, the metahuman, because. Yeah, which I'll get to. Again, that involves Felicity, but still pretty cool. But the one scene I want to talk about Felicity, I mean, there's this one scene where she's like with this submachine gun, she's just shooting at the metahuman, and she has no idea where she's aiming, but she manages to hit him like a few times, and then he kind of runs away. That was interesting. That was pretty fun. And then the other one, which I'm like, holy shit, she's pissed, was when she's talking to Diggle and Oliver, and she's like, I was about you to stop, get your heads out of your asses and actually do something. So, and figure this thing out between you. So that's pretty cool. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd give this episode a 9 out of 10. It's a pretty good episode. Definitely do check it out if you haven't already. And yeah, that's basically it for this review. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the episode. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Comment out that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.